Okay, Mure Zimbabwe. So I refuse to give up. I refuse to be defeated by things that are technical, by things just not brain, my laptop, my cell phones, internet, Wi-Fi. I refuse. I don't jamuka. So tatine live here this broadcast ya 7 every day. And I'm going to be like, what is happening? So these are technical issues. We ran into technical issue. Ndadira mvura pa laptop ikazodika kata network, and then he threw me out of the internet, out of a live broadcast. But I'm back because a lot of news is happening, and I have to give my people, I have to make sure Zimbabwe stays updated. So right now tisatapinda kuna what Chiwenga has said already. Mure Zimbabwe tine a problem. Chabangu omwisa poison yakamwisa vana chamisa. Chabangu omwiswa poison yakamwisa ji vana chamisa. So this is very important. We have to get to this. We have to get to this news. Let me get to the video, Mure Zimbabwe, so that you yourselves can see kuti Chabangu otreatwa the same way yakatreata Nelson Chamisa kuti yakatreata maZimbabwe, because anautreata Nelson Chamisa chete wakatreata tese senge tiri ana mbudzi. But now wakuzama kuda kuonekwa avachamuoni, but kane nharo manje Chabangu. Watch.
As policy makers, then we are a disaster. Madam President, we are not here. We should not, when we make laws, we should not be partisan. The minister should be agile. The ministers, when they come and present their bills here, they should be agile to our amendment, our input. Honorable rubber stampers here.
Honorable Chabangu.
Well, not rubber stampers.
No, Honorable Chabangu. After that statement, the minister responded again.
No.
And there was
I'm giving an
objection.
I'm giving an overall view.
Oh, yeah, give me an
overall view.
Okay, we'll take you over.
We are disappointed. This attitude, this arrogance that is being perpetuated by the
allowed
minister.
To say that, Honorable.
No, I can withdraw because look,
I'm saying that allowed.
I withdraw.
Mirai. Topedza ndabopoza a little bit. I want to talk about this. I know my sisters, vananzvadzi, ana moms, you will feel offended because I'm not going to say all women. Some women are very smart, very intelligent, and very disciplined, But Mnangagwa is also smart. Paneka kusarudza kaari kuita vakadzi achivaisa muma positions of power. Because one thing, let's be honest, when a man is a leader, and then he chooses a woman to come and serve in his, government or company or whatever, that woman somehow is very, very loyal, because she don't see this man as a leader, as all of us see him. She sees him as some supernatural, powerful man. Look at this woman. Look at this Madam Speaker, Madam President. How convicted she is to just defend what she doesn't even know. She's just busy fighting Chabangu, trying to defend Mnangagwa, trying to defend his regime with all her heart, and you can see it. So I am saying, my Zimbabwean people, my Zimbabwean sisters and mothers, and wanagogo netu tuanzwazi tudiki, don't be manipulated. Stay logical. Musafarira Mnangagwa to the extent, because I know if right now kwanzi Rihanna kana kuti Tami Moyo kana kuti chi tumwe tupabebituri naye zaniti karikuya leader, men us will just be like but to some extent tetisiri kufunga about a lot, kufunga about how nice she is and stuff. That might be happening also. Look at this woman. She just seems to be defending. She just seems to be fighting Chabangu from a place. She's not using her brains, but trying to impress. She's just trying to look at her. Superior, super, Nexus, look at her. Let me play.
The statement. But what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to say,
look at her,
Madam President. we ought to be respected. And when we make input,
Look at it.
It's not that we want to go and be employed there. We are making these laws for the future. I understand.
Look at her. She's not even thinking.
They cannot come as if
She's not even listening to Chabangu. You know, she's constantly trying to fight back, trying to kupinzira something. Because makapoindwa na Emerson mfano wangu ndokuona. Unenge ushansa kama ka smartness, but the problem yako ndekuti unotolerate corruption. That's your problem. You tolerate corruption. That's your biggest problem. Mfano wangu kananga usinga tolerate corruption. President Emerson, I tell you, you would have been far, but you tolerate corruption. That's your problem. Vana wiki nezvezviri zvigaranda zvakaita kuchira munyika yauri kutungamirira zvakaba mari yese zvichiita madiro handiti zvichitobwinya kutopfuura even Mnangagwa family kana ichiburika tenzo kwanzi Mpana Collins wakuda kugadzirisa matatu wakuda kwenza matapi kumbari etc handiti
it was written for them.
Honorable Chabangu, the minister responded after you are by them. They were very ministers.
You see, atereri kana mukadzi atombotereri iyana agenda yake and it's simple. She just tries to please her president, to please her boss. Look, check kana mchiri kwanze Nexus unongoitora zvisiko Nexus vakazodi imimi itai easy tikuone sei muri Zimbabwe tikatadza kuona rina kwati kuenda mapofu anokwana nanobondera.
What we're talking about, we have been into the labor. We know what we're talking about. And you can't make laws like this. You can't make laws like this.
Okay. You know what, Mure Zimbabwe? Look at Sengezo Chabangu, so convicted. Mfano wangu Sengezo, unondi gwadzisa. Look mfano wangu, ndiyo wakatengesa chunichi. Wakatengesera Mnangagwa chuno ichi. Nasu unoru kupopota. These people, you know, varokutadza a little bit of respect, but they also show you kuti kana ukada kunyatsokuda kumirira opposition zvakuda kuita izvi tokupandukira. You can see they don't consider you, but ndiyo wakatengesa chino ichi. But now look at you, Sengezo. You are trying to fight, but okay, anyway, regaiti play kadzina kusvika kapera because kakaipa.
This is unheard of. This is unheard of. I have to express my displeasure.
Yeah?
I have to express. The minister should be considerate.
Honorable Chabangu, there was no objection, Honorable Chabangu. After the statement, no Chabangu.
Allowed to also listen to the member, please, Chair.
Sengezo, urikuona
President, yeah. If they want to go if they want to parcel out the laws, they should do it on their own. They shouldn't come here. You see, no, they shouldn't come here, Madam President. Why should you give them a quorum? Why should we give them a quorum for this bill to pass? We are not.
And why are they being given a quorum? A forum manager bang. Why are you being too fast? And mkomana akapeka ruoko kwa terminator. Did you see that? Get pensisi.
Point of order. Point of order, Madam Chair.
Right, Madam President. We don't want to be invoked like this way. We are not going to give you the quorum for this bill to pass.
Point of order. Point of order, Madam.
Policy.
Okay. Munozoti Super Nexus anotaurisa. Right, inini, let me just jump straight into what Zimbabweans are saying in the comment section. This is not kutaura pfungwa dzangu because munozoti Nexus super wangu. Why kutaurisa? Hands terminate. The same thing that I told uguru wacha wangu. Terminator. Ndo zvangoona queen of Vatonga. Queen of Vatonga wangoona ruoko gwa terminator. Chet. Ndo zvangotaura. Vanhu vachirgaiti muisiri like. Maybe vangwana vachataura zvemusoro. Hanzi na cow beverages. Harisi doro here vana cow beverages. Hanzi ndanzwa panzi we are the leaders of tomorrow. Zvikanzi no chabangu ndi madam speaker ndi madam president vataura vanzi no chabangu hanzi we are the leaders of tomorrow, you are the leaders of today chabangu, and you have messed up. Hanzi na chikandamina weshanu pauta wakuzviona nhasi, they no longer need you, used and discarded kunge kondo mu vakomana makudaro sengezo chabangu, musadaro sengezo chabangu, munzure itsitiwo mukomana wakapiwa kana kuti mari isingasviki kana kuti even 500,000 because muzanupf $500,000 ka is nothing. Ukaona iwo zanupf ichiuya kwauri ichikubhadhara mari iri pasi pe$5 million, ziva kuti uyu are nothing. Ungoroka uri nothing. Ungoroka hanzani Jamaster kakapiwa ka 3 ka C class Benz kekunana 2016 anidi wotengwa iwo nika C class Benz kekunana 2016. Zimbabwe ndoda kuti munzwisise kuti this is nonsense. I don't know why Zimbabweans are stupid zvekuti you sell out your whole career uri Freeman HKD wopiwa iwewe Benz, Mercedes Benz hanzi ndeye 400,000, but you know it's a second hand, and in reality this car is like, you know, kuma $40,000. That Mercedes Benz yawakapiwa Freeman, okay, maybe $50,000 iri second hand $50,000 and wopiwa neka 10,000 chava $60,000, but you give them your whole career. You are now no longer allowed to say anything that opposes ZANU-PF, anything. But look at Japreza. He's given everything. Kanzi, ka 150, kakazonzi, ka 200, kakazonzi, ka Range Rover, kakazonzi, ka Land Rover, kakazonzi, ka chi. And gore. And so this thing is not fair. Vana comic euda topana Twitter. Tanga tune potential yokuinda very, very far. But that potential was bought by ZANU-PF. Now comic euda to zapano perera. You will never go any. Which other step can he take from where he is right now? He cannot tell us who he is. It's just, every Zimbabwe now knows what comic euda kanguri kampana kamika ita tumaskits tukanakidza vanhu. After that kakatengwa neZANU-PF. And it will be forever like that. And the Ford Raptor kakapiwa karika latest. It was what, 2025. Alright, karibo right now mna 2025. Right now mna 2026. But patozosvika kuti mna 2028 kane kati waka old model. So who is going to upgrade that Ford Ranger? Nobody. Alright, if somebody upgrades it, it will be weak now. It will be one. But how about the rest? Vana Enzo Aishao, vana Endi Muridzo, vana XQ, vana Say Colors, vana Chi. Who is going to upgrade mas Toyota Makawapa? Nobody. Influence ya pera. Zimbabweans no longer trust them. Zimbabweans no longer love them to the core. They know they are betrayers. For everybody, aka receiver a gift. Mure Zimbabwe. Ma Zimbabweans knows kuti iwewe urimutengesi. You will not stand by the people if you were to ever be offered money. And Zimbabweans know that. You understand? So, my careers, musicians, they've been destroyed. You can't tell me which colors can ever come back to the people of Zimbabwe and appeal to them on that level. How? Iwe wakachemera kumbira ukapunira kupiwa or something na wikino, and then you ended up being given, which means zvanga zviri zvedumbu rako to music twese twakaimba tuya influence yose wakagain over the people zvanga zviri zvedumbu rako. One thing I would say ndechekuti at least kana chiri chimukomana chinonzi Japreza, in real time chimukomana chinonzi Japreza chakabenefita, but what he benefited even up to this day to my 100,000, to my 150, to my 200, to my expensive vehicles etc. Sezva aisekwa mapfumo ndobva chazobvuma offer. All of these things, these people, they've got no careers. It's impossible for Zimbabweans to respect japresa. I know ndakataura this about japresa, and then some Zimbabweans vakabva vauya mucomment section iwewe kana wakamaka japresa ndiwe wega isitomufarira. I know some of you you know, on a deeper level or on a thinking level, I mean a lot of Zimbabweans kautununu kakawandisa, you know. So when you say something like Zimbabweans don't respect japresa on a personal level, Zimbabweans be like unonyepa isitomu respect, but here with the same person, you know, deep down you don't respect japresa. Why? Because mutenges, and you know to mutenges, and it can never be changed. It's always the same thing. So only people like me, only people who have never received anything from ZANU-PF are standing on the truth, are loved by the people, trusted by the people, and everything. So chabangu uripama one, but regarding chitaura isusu about mbanje Zimbabwe, you be like super Nexus. Uritaura kuti chi you about mbanje dzochipiswa mu Zimbabwe. So regarding iverengeka short statement kubva ku 263chat.com. Tisataterera Professor Mutule Ncube vachiti a short speech but powerful. Hanzi, Cabinet has approved key reforms by streamlining duplicated licenses and permits, removing unnecessary levies and fees, and reducing unjustifiably high charges. Lower MCAZ license fees for industrial hemp, cannabis, and agricultural medicinal cannabis research permits. Cannabis, HTC, cannabis, etc. Right? So get to the video. This is the comment.
Let me now turn to the MCAS, Medical Control Authority, licensing permits and fees. Most of these pertain to the medicinal cannabis. So for the application processing fee, which is currently set at 10,000, has been reduced to 1,000, and this is one-off. Then the medicinal cannabis license, which is currently set at 50,000, and this lasts for 5 years, has been reduced to 15.
Yes. Varuve mbanje muri kupi? Comment in comment section. Varuve mbanje muri kunzwa?
1,000, also lasting for 5 years.
Okay.
Then the medicinal cannabis license renewal, which is obviously every 5 years. 1,000 has been reduced to 1,000, and this is one-off. Then the medicinal cannabis license, which is currently set at 50,000, and this lasts for 5 years, has been reduced to 15,000, also lasting for 5 years. Then the medicinal cannabis license renewal, which is obviously every 5 years, is at 50,000 currently. It has now been reduced to 7,500. Then the research permit has been reduced from 5,000 to 1,000. And the inspection fee has been reduced from 2,500 per inspection to $400 per inspection. And then the late submission of annual returns penalty, which is currently set at 15,000 per incident, has now been reduced to 1,500 per incident.
All right. Big changes. Very big changes. My changes are 10 pe. You know, 100. All right. Kana 100,000 ikaitwa 10,000. Katakusoma figures toti. How much reduction is that? Kana 50,000 ikanzi yava 7,000. Whether mazigi kana ma US dollar. But how much reduction is that? Tuma licenses tunge tuchipiwa bana vembanje. Medicinal marijuana. Kuroti kana yo uchipiwa mbanje, uchitendebwa kuchuta mbanje, uchitendebwa kutora marijuana products, because you have got a medicinal issue. Yanga chimbonzi 50,000 iko zvino yakunzi 7,000. Yanga chimbonzi 1,000 iko zvino yakunzi 1,000. So you can see those are big reductions. But gaitimbonzwa kuti maZimbabweans ari kuti chinazo, what do they take from this? What are they saying about this? Do they say any positivity? Iwa makomenza zero comments. So chinhu chakandwa nhasi musi wa 4 August.
They've now turned to the Medical Control Authority.
Mutuli nyar hapana comment apa. Kuda kuti maZimbabweans, they don't want to say anything about it, and it's a good thing. Tiri pamuzinda wevanhu pa the Mutapa Times pano pa YouTube. Vari kutozotiona time vari kutoona pa Facebook pa Inside Africa Network. Remember, kana uchida kutoona live, kana uchida kuona each and every update which is important to every Zimbabwean, ma businessmen muno muZimbabwe vano investa ma hundreds of thousands of dollars, US dollars, vano investa ma tens of millions of US dollars, vano investa ma hundreds of millions of US dollars. Even billionaires who invest a couple of billions, 35 billion, 100 billion, they watch the Mutapa Times. They know when it comes to Zimbabwe, who controls the narrative controls where the money flows. So who controls the narrative? It's us. Panapa the Mutapa Times, neni super nexus. Don't be fooled. Musanya pegwa. So make sure you subscribe waona each and every update ya Kandira, because it influences economic markets. It influences where the money flows muno Zimbabwe. And at some point, as I have said before, in which dark super nexus, I'll be the president muno by the people's demand, because Zimbabweans are looking for somebody like me all the time. Good nexus, somebody from the people, by the people, who understand the people, who understand the people's mission, the people's wishes and everything, the people's dreams. Tungamirira chino ichi. Ndikati murezi mabondo wari. Ndichachi tungamirira chino ichi. Now, kuneva vasina ma dreams ekutungamirira chino ichi. Igara ikokoko. Bo. Isusu. Takazvisarudzwa. And now the people believe in us. So ndoda kupinda pa local, social and economic news. Very important. Takutaura zvimbavha dzeku VID. Zviri pa news day zvonezvo. So first of all, hanzi 2 VID clerks in court over alleged $1 million United States dollars licensing fraud. You know, kune vanhu vaitaura ma demonstrations kuti ma government workers, ma civil servants and other private sector workers in Zimbabwe, let's hold a demonstration. Ndobva vamwe vavuya vachiti, but do you remember kuti vashandi veku VID will never join those demonstrations? Now taakunzwa kuti kune 2 vashandi veku VID vari kuaccuswa, ma clerks, kuti vakaba $1 million, which means vari 2 is 500,000 to each individual's team, and $500,000 in Zimbabwe, it's a lot of money for us ordinary Zimbabweans. Now let's get into this story. Hanzi Blawayo, August 1, 1994, Newsday Live. The Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission, ZACC, ZAC, has arrested 2 Vehicle Inspection Department VID data capture clerks over an alleged $1 million vehicle licensing fraud involving the manipulation of the department's electronic licensing system. The accused Tinotenda Maningi and Krison Chipanga are accused of manipulating the VID licensing platform to fraudulently issue learners' licenses and certificates of competence. According to allegations presented in court, the pair also generated fake payment receipts and allegedly solicited bribes ranging from $200 to $500 from members of the public seeking licensing services. ZAC, Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission, alleges the scheme caused losses estimated at about $1 million United States dollars of America. Maningi and Chipanga appeared in court on July 30, 2026 and were remanded in custody until August 4, 2026. today. The arrest underscore ongoing concerns over corruption and the abuse of government digital systems by officials responsible for delivering critical public services. The two have not yet entered a plea on the charges. They remain presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. Muri Zimbabwe. So, vakomana veku VID vari kupinda mawana ari serious. Unfortunately, vakomana veku VID, they are already known by the law, they are already known by the citizens of Zimbabwe kuti vari corrupt. So, ukaona a court case ichibudikira about you ichiti uri corrupt and uri kusevenza ku VID, uri kusevenza to some other departments of the government, because it's not only the VID that is known by the citizens kuti VID is corrupt. There are so many departments. Vekuma passport hamu safe at all. And kana veku VID vachigona kusvitswa pavasvitswa, according to what Newsday is saying, everybody is in trouble. And I big up that, I support that, because I support a government that stands for the people against its own institutions. Dzinenge dzichitungamirirwa nevatungamiriri who are loyal to the president, who are ready to sell out integrity, truth, responsibility, so that they can get a certificate of loyalty. Kuti Mnangagwa, they are expecting from the president of Zimbabwe, Emerson Mnangagwa, all they are expecting from him is his recognition to say, iwewe, ndakuona, wakamira neni. And they are ready to sell out everything. Their dignity, the truth, our Zimbabwean responsibility, our Zimbabwean resources, etc. Kuti vango recognize on a president, va promotwe to my position to kuba mari corrupt people. Pasnemi. Because if we don't stand against these corrupt people varimu government, these corrupt people varikuma newspaper, variku Herald, variku ZBC, variku Newsday, these corrupt people variku finance ministry, variku mining ministry, variku chi, then Zimbabwe is not a country, but it's a village. It's a banana republic. If us as Zimbabweans, as ordinary citizens, if we don't stand for the truth, if we don't support platforms like this platform, the Mutapa Times, Ichitungamirigwa neni, Super Nexus, then Zimbabweans, tinopiswa, tinopedzegwa, because we are the democratic movement, we are the democratic voice, and the beautiful thing is that twese tumafesi tunosupporta autocraticnism, tunosupporta tuma dynasties, tunosupporta tunoziva chokwadi, and tunoziva kuti kana ukaona kune team rakaita sana Super Nexus rinomira on democracy and rinosupporta nema millions of Zimbabweans sezvatinoita panapa the Mutapa Times, they will never win. They know they are thieves, and they don't wish, even themselves, they don't wish to see anybody like themselves winning in government, state power. They don't wish it. In other words, ndikuti munhu akaita satungwarira haashuviri kuona munhu akaita satungwarira achibudirira, anomisa because unoziva kuti imbavha. Unoziva kuti munhu uyu, if they ever end up getting all of the state power, vanotipedzera, ende kupedzerana ndokwakashata is the most hated thing. So Zimbabwe, let me jump straight to the next story. Drama is slain daughter family. What Ndoda na Chuma family disrespected them. Once that runs and Ndoda na Chuma family, a lot of Zimbabweans knows exactly what that is, who that is, what is happening. All right. This is not on Twitter or on X, but this is Newsday. All right, this is not Newsday, it's News Zimbabwe. News Zimbabwe. Hanzi, Ndoda na Chuma's relatives showed no remorse after triple murder, slain wife's family says. This is big. Zimbabwe, Regaiti Berenge with the respect that it deserves. This is sensational. This is a sensitive issue. And the family of slain Notabo Kumalo says it is deeply hurt by what it describes as a lack of remorse from their in-laws, the relatives of Ndodana Chuma, who is accused of murdering his wife and their 2 young daughters. Speaking during the funeral service in Bulawayo, Kumalo family representative Ntsika Dakamela said the Chuma family had neither reached out nor apologized following the killings. The Chuma family has not come to apologize to us. They were supposed to come to the gate, kneel down and say they were sorry because what happened was not of their doing. We don't want people to speculate. We expected them to come, but they did not. They took it lightly, said Dakamela. The bodies of Notabo and her daughters, Natalie and Nala, arrived in Zimbabwe on Monday, which is Nezuro, from the United Kingdom ahead of their burial in Bulawayo. The 3 were found dead at their home in Great Denham, Bedfordshire. Chuma allegedly fled the UK, the United Kingdom, after the killings before he was arrested in South Africa following an alert issued by British authorities. He is currently awaiting trial in South Africa on charges relating to the illegal possession of a firearm. Those proceedings are expected to be concluded his extradition to the UK, where he is wanted in connection with the murders. Addressing mourners at the same funeral service, Theophilus Kumalo urged the family to place its trust in the justice system rather than seek revenge. This is a tragedy that has tested our faith. The manner of their passing has left wounds that only God can heal. As the Kumalo family, we stand firm in our commitment to the truth, to justice, and to dignity. We will allow the law to take its course. We will not be drawn to anger or bitterness. We will not allow this tragedy to define us, he said. Zimbabwe. This is New Zimbabwe. And I, Super Nexus, Pamzinda Webano, them Tapa Times by YouTube, I have something to say. And it's very important. And we thank the Kumalo family for what they are saying. Kuti vacharamba vane runyararo vachatevedzera as the law takes its course. The Chuma family, according to the Kumalo family, havana ku apologize, havana kukumbira ruregero for what Ndodana Chuma just did. But remember, Ndodana Chuma is not a convicted murderer. The laws, justice system in Britain and in South Africa avasati vawana enough evidence for them to accuse Ndodana Chuma. New evidence shows up kuti Ndodana Chuma hana kuvraya mukadzi wake, hana kuvraya vana vake, but some other things happened for that is possible too. What are you going to say, Imimi? Said the Kumalo family. Variku accuser the Ndodana Chuma family kuti vavatadzira havana kushowa enough remorse. Vanga vachida kuti these guys vanofanira kuuya pagedhe vopfugama vogodama vokumbira ruregerero. What if mwana wavo asina kuzviita because the courts haven't declared Ndodana Chuma guilt as of now? What if Ndodana Chuma is a victim? Zokuti watadza kuexplain, watadza kutaurira ma-Africans, ma-British, ma-Americans, or let's say the people of the world of how innocent he is. Zvichira kuti ari kusungigwa mahara, ari kupomedzerwa mhosva dzemahara, ari kutamburira mahara, ari muchitokisa, ari muchi, but still he remains silent because he got respect for his wife and his kids who passed away. Because Mfesu is being accused directly by millions of people right now, by thousands of Africans right now, kuti akauraya mukadzi wake, but not only that, wakauraya vanasikana vake. That's big. And that's something to consider. He never denied it. He never fought against it. It's just quiet. And you never showed up. Sinewe. Mpani toda kutokudira mambama katika kubata 3 isusu. Vana Super Nexus. Pano pa mzinda we vanu. The Mtapa Times. Pano pa mzinda we vanu. Varikutuona pa YouTube. Varikutuona pa Facebook. Varikutuona pa YouTube. Of course, varikutuona pa The Mtapa Times. Unless panika mka channel ukarikuba our videos. Say too much my channels to our videos before, but we reported them to YouTube. Tukapotsa to a blog kwa tukazotunzura tsitsi. And we know on Facebook the same thing is happening, right? Inini ndripa Inside Africa Network. That's my channel. Isus ndopa mno ma latest. Kana uchituona on any other platform. Kana pari pa Facebook urukunyepa. Kana pari pa YouTube urutuona pa The Mtapa Times. Kana urutuona pa any other platforms. Go to The Mtapa Times right now and subscribe. Boss ndopa unaona the real information, my real live updates. Any other channel kana irikuburikira ichiti posta tichai block at some other time. Tichai report at some other time. Atisa tango iteverera chete, but iteverera very soon. Kana wachifunga kuti isusu wa content farm tiriku rimira content ivo vachingota repost. Muna Zimbabwe. So this is bad. This is bad. Nyaya ndodhana chuma is bad. But haisiyo nyaya chete iri kunyangadza muZimbabwe. Haisiyo nyaya chete iri kupisa muZimbabwe. Takuda kupinda on a regional news. Good news for Zimbabweans and Africans. Some South Africans show sanity. So this is going to be our last story. This is going to be our last story. Takuda on a regional level. Because I think as Zimbabweans, sometimes with them, we are so distorted. Yeah. Africans are xenophobes. Africans are stupid. Africans will never stayed with each other, especially, and then we are given the example in South Africa, but even in South Africa, there are a lot who are standing with the people. This is a life. Dripa life, Zimbabwe. So, the enemy mvura. Bozwana kuzakana ngobato nemunikwe. Emamvura bozi nikasama mvura panapa munikwe unoramba chinjaire. But anyway, ndamwa mvura and munikwe seems like waenda. And I hate it when we lose people, when we lose internet and nonsense. So hands neck ground up a newspaper in South Africa, hands activists go door to door to counter xenophobia in Yeoville. Yeoville has become a hotspot for these xenophobes. They are instilling fear in immigrants. So this is 3 August 2026 by Kimberly Mutandiro, Brief, Johannesburg. Alright, and the vigilante groups, these are 3 points, but we're not going to follow that. We're going to start here. And Alida Mpombo, originally from the Democratic Republic of Congo, has lived with her family in Yeoville, Johannesburg since 2009, where she runs a second-hand clothing shop with her husband. Despite repeated efforts, her family has been struggling since 2024 to renew their asylum papers. Returning to the DRC is not an option, she says, as her village is in a war zone. So, this is a refugee. Hans Mpombo says her family always enjoyed Yeoville's vibrant and diverse community, but attitudes have shifted with the rise of xenophobic groups like March and March. This past year, Operation Dudula members denied healthcare access to immigrants at Yeoville's clinics, following a court interdict obtained by Copenhagen, Africa Against Xenophobia, CACS, and others. The clinic started assisting immigrants with valid documents. However, activists say that since the march protests started in the area around April, access has again been denied. So Ndi Ali Dampombo from the Democratic Republic of Congo says she had been repeatedly harassed by March and March members in Yeoville. Uyo, murukumona. Muone. Vari pa South Africa. Pakaipa. pakaoma. Ona tuma boys utito akabata tuma newspaper tiri kusvita mbanje utu akakamfesa kari kugadzira shangu. I can bet you kuti akazika South African akakamfesa kari pa phone aka. I bet kuti come South African. But anyway, hatisi kuda kudisturba. This is bad. Hanzi chiko netuma ndaklika inini kakuklikika kakuita tuma circles kakuti wastira time same Zimbabweans because sometimes it's not time yekuwaste kakundivhurira picture iri. What do I care about this picture? Nonsense. Go back and hapasina kana option yekuita go back. This is stupid. I have to say this is very stupid. Kanewspaper kakadhakwa. But anyway, newspaper kekuma aka. Anyway, it was the last story that we have, kagroundup.org. So, Zimbabwe, anyway, this means this is the end of the story. Get on something. Cano load there. Top this picture one more time. Because they will not nonsense. So, which means network you could buy this up. But I hope you are still watching us live. Because if you are not, it's a problem. We still see we have 17 viewers. We are at 30 something minutes now. It's a problem. Right now, it reaches the 6 minutes, but